All right, irrigation troubleshooting number, I don't know, 95, we'll call it. So on this home, we had a bit of a problem with the clock. This is actually one of the newer clocks that we installed from this one. Thought it was a clock issue. Each one of these wires runs to a valve that controls a specific zone in the lawn itself. Well, the problem is that each color should be the same color on the valves that are out in the yard. Well, that wasn't the case. And I would turn on one zone or I would turn on, say, zone 5, and zone 1 would come on. And then I would turn on zone 3, and zone 1 would also come on. And so I got to thinking that it's not the clock, it's probably a wiring issue. So what we ended up having to do was track the wire to the first valve box, and I found that the colors that are on this clock, the colors of the wires are different than the colors that are on the valve itself. So that tells me that somebody had probably spliced the wires in someplace underground. And so what we had to do was dig underground to try and find that wire and find that splice. So because it wasn't a clock issue, it was a wire issue, what we had to do was track the wire from the clock itself to the first valve box, because hypothetically speaking, the splice would be somewhere between the first valve box and the clock itself. And it was pretty easy to track because whoever installed the system, well, we installed the system years ago, but whoever our employee was that did it at that time was smart enough to hide it here under the eave, or I don't know, is that an eave? This little thingy on the house. So it was pretty easy to track. It's right there, and it goes all the way over there. Comes out here, and then boom, there's the splice, there's the first valve box. So this is problematic. We didn't do this, somebody else did. They came in here and they took a multi-strand wire, spliced it into the main wire that goes to the clock, but one of these wires is just not working properly, or maybe all of them are not working properly, which is why we're having problems. So we're going to do it a different way. This is really problematic because just putting a wire nut on the top of these wires and putting electrical tape around it and then burying it in the dirt, you know, you expose it to water, pests, all sorts of other things that could go wrong. So we're going to do it a little bit better, and hopefully that resolves the issue. Here's why this is problematic. Right here, the brown is connected to the black wire, and I just took the wire nut off, and you can see that the copper is exposed, but it's got some dirt and debris in there, and that can inhibit the flow of electricity. So we're just going to expose more of this and do our own version and see if that works. Okay, so this is going to be the test to see whether or not our splice worked. I've connected the black wire right here to zone 5, and I'm going to turn it on manually, and if the sprinklers come on over there, then we know it's worked. Daniel, will you hold that? Okay, so here we go. Manual, zone 5. No, that's not what I want. Not all. Still doesn't work. So it still doesn't work. So we're gonna have to do a little more troubleshooting. This is my mistake. The common wire, this little white wire here, was not connected to the clock as it needed to be for the system to run properly. So we just did about 20 minutes worth of troubleshooting because I didn't do some basic stuff. Anyway, so the clock works, which is good. I connected zone 5 to zone 5 here. There you go, you wanna hold that? Thank you. So now, we got zone 5 connected here. We've got the common wire connected here. Pressing zone 5 started. And if you can't hear that, we can. We hear sprinklers working, which is a really good sign. So, yeah, yes, we figured it out. Okay, thanks.